Should I come out of wait, should I come out to my wife? The dilemma. Come out? You have a wife? And you're gonna what do you mean? You're gonna tell her, hey, I think I'm this, or like I think I'm sexually attracted to the opposite sex. Wouldn't that just like fuck up the marriage? If you're already married?
I love my wife, but I'm gay. Should I come out now? Yes or no?
He said, I love my wife, but I'm gay. Should I come out now? Yes or no? I'ma be honest, bro. I don't think he should. Just because he's already in a committed relationship slash marriage. Because wouldn't that ruin the whole thing? And that's just going to create a bunch of problems. But I feel like if you want to be personally happy with yourself, you just have to understand that there's going to be a big ass shift in everything that's going on in his life right now after he comes out with this. Because, you know, because what if the wife isn't understanding? There could be a rare probability that the wife is like, hey, I'm okay with this, but I still love you even the way that you are. And then things could go well from there. Do they got kids though? See, it's like there's so many factors that we don't know. I'm
We
gonna
brought
say
together a group of strangers to help an anonymous person make one of their toughest decisions.
My wife is the most important person in my life, and I would never want to do anything to hurt her. But I'm also gay, so I'm not sure how to approach it, or even how to come out.
After hearing the group's advice, which choice will this person make? This is the dilemma.
you said they are married, not a girlfriend. That's what I said. That's what I was saying. I think he should say no because you're already in a committed marriage. And that's obviously going to ruin it. Because realistically speaking, you know, I don't know. It's just crazy. You said speed it up. Nah, Ozzy, I'm going to slow that shit down. Everybody in the chat, say thank you, Ozzy. Oh my god, it's terror. Damn, this shit's going by mad slow. Damn, these motherfuckers moving one frame a second. I can't. I'm gonna die. They all picked yes?
How long into the relationship did you realize you were gay?
I knew before I got married.
Oh, estúpido. ¿Y por qué tú hiciste eso? Si tú sabías, if you already knew before the marriage that you were gay, why would you then commit and get bro, you see, like, now I'm starting to care less.
How did you meet your partner?
We grew up in the same community together. We started off as friends, then best friends, and it grew from there.
Is your partner supportive of everything you do?
In our viewpoints on religion, yes. In terms of supporting the LGBT community, no.
Ooh, religion. She's a religious person. And she doesn't support the LGBTQ. Ooh, I'm telling you. They all said yes. You see? Go back to that side that said no. Because even if you say yes, there's going to be... Once you hit that yes button on this decision, you basically just like, you know... Get ready for some shit that's about to happen. Because it's not going to be sugar and rainbows after that. It's going to be probably some fights. A lot of shit.
So religion is a big cornerstone of your guys' relationship?
We both grew up in the same religious community, so we both grew up with the same values and the same social guidelines.
Yikes.
So, yes.
Do you think your wife knows you're gay?
No, she doesn't.
What was the main reason as to why you went to the yes side?
I have a few family members in the LGBTQ plus community. I know all their experiences coming out have been positive, at least in the long run. I really thought to myself about him coming here, wanting to, you know, share his truth and, you know, speak to us about it. I knew that it's about time. It's starting to boil over, and he needs to come out.
What was your reasoning for marrying a woman even though you knew you were gay?
Exactly.
I thought that if I got married, that it would change me.
No! No, that's such a fucking two-head mentality. You just made it a million times worse. If anything, I would have postponed the marriage and I would have been like, hey, babe, I'm not feeling right. I'm going through some internal struggles right now. I don't know what decisions I necessarily want to make. Let's hold off on the marriage and let me see if I can figure these things out. to just straight up commit to a marriage and then have the mentality of, oh, I thought it was gonna fix things, and obviously you're not attracted. It's just stupid.
Not, I could become straight.
What are your intentions in life, and how do you want to feel about your life?
I want to be truthful, but I also don't want to hurt the people surrounding me. I'm a very honest person. I don't lie.
I'm a very honest person. I don't lie. You're capping out your ass already just with those 2 sentences. You literally just lied to your partner the whole time, and you got into a committed marriage with that partner, telling them all types of bullshit when you're not even feeling that specific way. You're lying.
So the fact that I'm basically living a lie right now, it gives me a lot of anxiety and depression.
You
But
capping.
I know if I came out suddenly, it would devastate her.
The thing is, I'm bisexual, and I would have never said anything if I ended up falling in love with a man and everything worked out. And I fell in love with a woman, and I didn't want to hide anymore. Being your authentic self is my principle.
So is there an expected fallout that extends beyond just the relationship of you and your wife? Like, is it more than just your guys' relationship that's at stake?
My job is tied to the church, so I could potentially lose my...
Damn. Yo, just don't say anything at this point. You also work at the church with the girl that you got married with? Just say no.
job. I would most likely lose my family, my friends, my wife. I would lose everything, basically. I would have nothing and no support.
Are we the only people who know about this?
I've never told anyone.
Just based on this information now, you guys can switch to the other side if you want.
Yeah, I'll definitely say no, because I feel like it's just too much shit. There's just too much at stake at this current point. There's too much at stake. But then at the same time, you want to have the mentality of you want to live a happy life and you want to let your truth be told. You don't want to live a life of just lying the whole time. It's up to you, bro. But me, I feel like no.
He was explaining what's at stake if he comes out immediately. Because of that, the more I thought about that, the more I was like, you know what? He's going to be losing literally everything because of this. So I feel like he needs to have some sort of plan in motion first.
Yes.
The reason I said no, I'm bisexual. Same as you. It took me a cool minute to kind of come to terms with that. So it's like, I look more at like, am I safe? If you do, gone. You could lose a lot of things that you've built up on this foundation.
Have you at all considered reaching out to therapy or some sort of counseling to help you through this process?
In the community I live in, it's a little bit hard to find counseling. I live in a more rural area, so the majority of counselors are based through the church.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your relationship with God? And has there been moments...
What community is he in, bro? He sound like he live in a village in Resident Evil 4 type shit. He's like, the community is focused around the church. I work at the church. I met my girlfriend at the church. Bro, this is sounding like some horror game right now.
Where you've personally experienced him guide you.
Yeah, I would say, faith has been a deciding factor in all things that I do in my life, and that I don't, follow God blindly. I've felt him work in my life before. So for me, it's a real relationship that I have, and it's the most important relationship I have. God goes before everything else.
Faith is just a huge factor for my truth. To me, that's what I resonated the most. So I wanted to be that representation of like, hey, if you just go in with blind faith, it could still work out.
If you show who you really are to somebody, to anybody, they're going to show you who they are, like 100% of the time.
But then
And
how
if
would
you're
you know
surrounding
that?
yourself with people-
How would you know that I'm showing my true self? That's the thing. You would never know that, though, realistically speaking, because I could just be capping on my ass. I could just go up to Kless Games and I'm like, hey, I'm this. And Kless Games would be like, oh, I'm this. And I'd be like, psych, I'm not this. I'm actually this, motherfucker. You don't know.
People who are kind of not in support of the person that you really are, then that's not a healthy situation to be in. And I think he should 100% come out, like, today.
I'm bisexual. It took me a cool minute. One of my, I'm not going to name names, I'll say a family member, told my parents. It gave me a lot of anxiety. It was like, am I going to get kicked out? I'm going to stay here. Are they upset with me? It was very much like, okay, whatever. I don't want to talk to you right now. And it's like, I know coming out, like everyone's like, do it. It's great. You'll feel better. But for me, coming out, it made me feel worse. Because I'm like, I live my truth, but it didn't make me feel the way I wanted to feel.
I believe that everybody should live their truth. You're not emotionally responsible for anybody. you don't owe anybody your life. You be you, and they'll figure out how to be them.
I think it's different. like
True.
you're saying,
I
you're not
agree with that
responsible.
too. I agree with that 100% because at the end of the day, your happiness is what matters the most. And unfortunately, like there are some circumstances in life where you depend on other people for your happiness, but sometimes you have to learn how to not depend on other people for your own happiness because it's bullshit. You are dependent on your own happiness. Do what makes you happy, do what makes you feel right. You said like, dude, I totally agree with the idea of being yourself, but fuck, is it really worth it to be homeless and be yourself? That's the thing that makes it difficult. Like, I feel like high key, to be Fivehead in his situation, he should save up a lot of money, right? Save up a shit ton of money. Then when he feels like, hey, I'm ready to be in a situation where like if shit hits the fan, I'll be okay. Do it like that. Maybe realistically, I don't know, if that lady is his wife, he gonna have to pick a day where he gotta talk to her. Don't come out to everyone in the community all at once. Come out slowly but surely. Start off with your wife. Hey babe, I gotta talk to you about something. Oh babe, what you want to talk about? No, it's actually a little bit serious. Like, let's go take a seat. I want to talk about stuff. All right. We're sitting in the living room. We're talking about this shit. She probably gonna think he talking about cheating because that's gonna be the first thing that's gonna come in her mind. She's gonna be like, oh my God, what does he want to talk to me about? I don't understand. What's going on? All right, babe, I gotta talk to you about something. You slept with Jessica, didn't you? You slept with my friend. I fucking told you not to sleep with. No, damn bitch, too. I didn't sleep with your friend. I just want to be straight up. I think I'm leaning a little bit towards this other angle. What? I think you gotta be straight up. Gotta let her know. You said plot twist, wife being accepting while he's being religious. Best case scenario. That's the best case scenario. But the question is that going to happen, you know? You said I actually slept with Gerald. Oh, shit.
For other people's feelings. But it is, I know the guilt that I would feel as like a husband to be hiding something from my wife is like horrible.
Yeah.
Because like, let's also not forget that they are married. They have vows.
Yeah.
And part of
And a
those
lot
vows
attached
is
to
to
that.
tell the truth. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
That's
Because you're
exactly what I was
taking-
saying. That's what I was saying. Because if they're married and I'm like, that's your wife and she loved you enough to get married with you, I think it would be good if like we were to get into like a conversation of some kind and just be like, hey, let's talk about this. This is how I feel about the situation. This is what I'm currently going through.
Taking away another person's ability to live in reality, and that's wrong.
I do want to point out that I'm not necessarily saying that he should wait like years to come out. I'm just saying maybe
no,
take
don't
just
do
like a couple months. Like I would,
No, exactly. That's smart too. Not to just outright tell everyone. He has to take time to do it. He has to slowly start like per se planting the seeds in terms of like, okay, I'm gonna first let my wife know slowly but surely, and then from here on out, probably let the community start to know. I don't know, but just save up as much money as you can. He just said the wife would not agree with the LGBTQ scenario. She would never accept her POV of the LGBTQ. He doesn't know that. That's the thing. He doesn't know that realistically. Nobody ever knows 100% because you just never know because that's another person. He would say, oh, she would never be accepting of it. But in a realistic scenario, like if you're with someone that you quote unquote love, right? And you tell them something, you don't know what their reaction is going to be 100%. Because who knows? Like Kless said up there, what if she just accepts him for the way that he is? And she's like, I still love you. And it's okay type shit. I don't know.
I would say go to counseling, go to therapy, figure out who you are, and who you are even without the church and without your wife and without all of that stuff. Once you figure all that out, then you can start going through that process of how am I going to come out.
Yeah, but I think the focus should be more like him just finding himself, you know? Like all that planning, you know, like where's he gonna go and all that stuff. Yeah, those are tough questions, but it doesn't have to be answered right now because, you know, it takes baby steps.
Coming out is not.
Why he went to stand over there like that? Motherfucker standing there like an NPC.
All that stuff. Yeah, those are tough.
It's like, you know when you complete a side quest and then the character walks to the next location? Why the
but
fuck
it
he
doesn't
do
have to
that?
be answered right now because, you know, it takes baby steps.
Coming out is not ripping off a Band-Aid. It comes with so much anxiety. It comes with so much fallbacks depending on who you are, where your community is aligned, you know what I mean? And it shouldn't just be ripped off, because even ripping off Band-Aids hurt. You know what I mean? It's not a painless process just because it's quick. And people really need to understand that.
I agree with that, 100%. I agree.
Was there anything in the discussion that caught your attention in some way?
I think when they were mentioning when you come out, like right now, that person will show their true colors to me. That resonated with me because that is true. The other issue that was brought up was the point of counseling and kind of preparing myself. I feel like that could be beneficial.
The groups will separately prepare their final advice.
I think there was too much discussion of what's step 10, what's step 7, what do we do like 3 stages from now?
Exactly, that's true as well. That's what I was saying. Everybody was like, a lot of people were thinking of like way later on what decisions they're gonna make, but no, we gotta focus on the now. What's gonna happen now? How are we gonna even engage this whole situation? That's what I'm saying. Coming out in general to everyone, I think is something he shouldn't do. He gotta take his time doing it. And first things first is he gotta have a discussion with his wife. That's the only person you could start with. You're not gonna start with your pastor or one of your freaking other friends in the church. You gotta start with your wife.
And again, I think what he needs from us is comfort.
Like ultimately, at the end of the day, people are going to be people, and you can't predict how someone's going to react.
Right. Exactly, you can't.
Who've been in a dangerous situation because they came out.
So the biggest concern
Find
is his
community.
safety.
So one thing we talked about was not necessarily needing a plan, because your dilemma isn't coming out to the world right now, but it's coming out to your wife, like your partner. And just as a married man of faith, you said your wife grew up in the church with you, and you grew up in the church, and so your wife possesses those fruits of the Spirit that are like patience and kindness. And I think those attributes, like you said, it sounds like are in her. And so she would be loving and kind and patient with you.
One of the things I want to just encourage you on is that you've been in a vulnerable position before where you had to put your whole trust in God, and He came through. So I just encourage you to sometimes be okay with taking just the first step forward, and everything else you could figure out along the way.
So I first want to be clear that yes, you should come out, but you should definitely wait and give it a little bit more time, because we're worried about your safety, number one. The other thing too is that you need resources, and you need time to get those resources. Like I said, like these divorce processes and everything, they don't take a week. And then it's all
exactly. That's what makes it difficult, because she might be accepting of it. She might be like, oh, so you like this? I want to be with a person who's like this. I'm done with you. That whole divorce process and all that court bullshit. Hell, you don't want to deal with all that shit.
About your community, right? Personally, me and my family is super religious, so I very much understand where you're coming from about investing so much time in your community and the sense of loss that comes with it. But you have to understand that you'll be fine, your relationship with God will be fine, but this is a very tough decision that is more than that.
Jacob, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling like I got a lot of just helpful words that have helped me kind of put together an idea of what I want to do going forward.
Have you made a decision in your mind right now?
Yeah, I think I have.
You're gonna have to just tell your wife if it's really bothering you that much. But right now, I feel like he should wait. A few weeks later, he picked
So
no.
upon getting home, I told my wife that I wanted to do counseling. And we've been meeting with a wonderful counselor, and she has just been able to give us a lot of tools to work with. We meet one-on-one, so I get a chance to be very open with her about how I feel. So I think within the next few months, definitely, I'll be ready to fully come out and just prepare myself and my wife for that.
He picked no. All right, I knew it.
I feel like the weight's been lifted a bit. I still have.
Yup, he said no. I knew it. Give me a sec, Chang. Let me get some water. Let me put some music for y'all too. Some toonsy woonsies.
It should be a decision that's made with the help of a counselor. I think that it's only fair to my wife that when I come out, I do it in a way that's not only safe for me, but safe for her, and to make sure that I have the resources I need in case something does go wrong. You guys are the first people that I've ever opened up to about this, so it was.
I know that if you hit that wall of just like, I don't feel like no one's gonna support me, no one has my back, know that we have your back, in spirit, from the distance, like you have people who believe in you and who's gonna support you, who want you to be happy, and you deserve that.
Aw. That was sweet.
So do you have a full outfit?